Jack here, owner of Hockey Alley, bringing you back hockey history. Today I'm going to do part 2 with Terry Ruskowski. First segment went really well, so this is going to be part 2. We're going to be I'm going to be asking him about the Chicago Blackhawks and also when he played in Pittsburgh with Mario Lemieux, and we'll see how it goes. Hi, Terry. This is part 2. We're going to continue our segment here.
Okay.
When you went to play in Chicago, how was it to play at that stadium?
The best stadium in the world.
Wow.
It was absolutely incredible. It was so old, and when I go to practice or go to the games, they always were like painting, fixing things up, painting. I bet you they had 150 coats on that. on that. If they had a fire, it'd go up like a big balloon, poof, gone. They're always fixing to keep it clean as best possible. I really like playing there. Like when we had to go up on the ice and off the ice. You had to take the stairways to go up and off, but it didn't really matter. It was just something about it. The mystique about that Chicago stadium was absolutely incredible, and I cried when they took it down because it has so many memories and so nostalgic. It was just. I don't know. It's the best building I ever played in my life. I just really enjoyed it.
The reason I asked that question, I asked it to a lot of players that played in Chicago, and it would be my dream to go and watch a game there. I never got the chance to actually see the building or be in it, and it would have been my dream to actually experience a game there. And that's what I wish.
Don't ever go on a Sunday afternoon or a Sunday night. Because if the Bears played that night or that afternoon, you can count on about 300 people that had under the influence of alcohol, and you can count on 2 or 3 fights in the stands. But you know the people the guards people there, they're all policemen, off-duty policemen, so they had no mercy in these guys.
Wow!
But you can always count on 2 or 3 scraps because. That's Chicago.
Yeah, toughest fans in the sport.
Oh boy, hey, that in Philadelphia.
Yeah.
I gotta tell you quick. Sir, we were playing against our rivalry team in St. Louis, and I got in an altercation. The fan came over the glass and poured beer on me. Well, I guess the same scenario there. The cops are the security people are ex-cops or are cops off duty. Mm-hmm. Well, they took the guy and they put him in a room. They handcuffed him. So they knocked in the dressing room. No, this is kind of see Ruskowski, and I walked and says, I got the guy next door. You want to scare him? I go, absolutely. So I went next door with my skates on. I go, yeah, that's the guy that poured beer on me. He said, and the cop says, okay, and unhandcuff him and let Jerry have him for 5-10 minutes. And I said, thank you very much. And the guy goes, no, I'm sorry, Mr. Ruskowski. I'm sorry. It would happen. I had too many drinks. I'm sorry. I just, the guy was begging to be handcuffed again. So I said, okay, I let him go. So like, thank you, sir. Oh, thank you, please. I really appreciate it. So it was one of the funny stories that happened to you. It was not the first time they poured beer on me, mind you, but at least they caught the guy that did it.
Yeah, it's terrible. Oh, awful. So you had Dennis Savard on your team. In his rookie year, did they let him play the way he wanted, or was he following a certain system with the team?
No, I think he played the way he wanted to. He's a magic man. His skating ability and stick handling was absolutely amazing.
Yes.
Again, he was such a talent. I was so blessed by playing with so many good players. I was really blessed. Here's the thing about Savvy, though. We were doing a skating exercise. You know, you go around the net 3 times one way, go around the net 3 times. You know the old saying, skate drill. Well, he was never first. He should be. So I pulled him off one side. You know what? I said, Savvy, you'll never be the great player that you should be. No variety player, because you should always be first. You should always do anything you do. You should always be first because you're the best. And after that, he was the first every time. He was the first one to finish. He was the first one in front of everybody. Mm-hmm. And I said, that's the way you're going to be a great hockey player, because you're going to be first. And man, he didn't ever change. He worked hard all the time and was first all the time. And I really, he took it to heart. And I, as a player and as the captain of his team, I really appreciate his effort. But great kid. He was my roommate. Not a problem off the ice. He always conducted himself in a professional manner. Mm-hmm. Just a great kid. Great kid to be around. He always, laughed and had fun and all that kind of stuff, which is great, and took the pressure off of everybody else, because you knew that if Savvy's on his game, he's good for that line's good for 2 or 3 goals a game, because he was that kind of a talent.
And did he practice a certain way on his puck control skills? Because he's amazing. Was he doing anything in practice extra?
He would not extra, but he would do it in practice. He would try different things in practice, but not a whole lot after practice.
No, okay.
He not a whole lot. It just came natural to him. But during the practice, he tried different things, spin around and go between his leg, and then jump over the boards and catch the puck again. He's just that type of player. He was just agile. His head, quick and agile, and his hands. His hand speed was incredible.
Yeah, he was amazing. And that Chicago team you're on, I haven't met you guys in person at that time, but from watching those years, you guys look like a tight-knit group. You can tell. I don't know what to say, but it looked like a tight-knit. You had Al Secord, Doug Wilson. It just looked like a tight-knit group. Am I right about it?
The majority of us were tight. Now, there's a couple of guys that kind of went on their own and did their own thing. But in general, we were pretty tight. We cared a lot about each other. We were real tight. There's a couple of guys that kind of went on their own. But I guess every team has that. And you try to not to let that happen. But you can't make a fuss over it if it does happen. So,
but you guys stuck up for each other, like in a fight or something. The guy would step in and take care of business. It was not like other teams where they just kind of.
Yeah, you're right. We were that type of team. And Al Secord might have been one of the toughest guys ever. Like, he was a left-handed guy. If he played now in this era, and I think he could, he'd be making probably $12 million, $13 million a year, because he's tough and score goals.
Yeah, he had 50 goals.
Yeah, and tough as freaking nails.
Yeah,
like his left hand, he would kill guys. And again, he was my roommate for a while, and I got to know Rocky. And actually, he lives in Dallas here, and we haven't matched up there. But he goes out to alumni skates, and when I'm there, he's not, and when he's there, I'm not. But we're gonna hook up one day and sit around and have a couple of drinks and talk about old times.
Yeah, he's an airline pilot, I heard.
He is.
It's amazing.
He was. I think he's got one more year left. I think he's going to retire. But I talked to him on the phone probably about 2 months ago. We talked on the phone, and he was telling me that he's thinking about retiring, but straight from a hockey player to a pilot, huh?
It's incredible. That's amazing. And
talk about you're no space cadet. No, he's not a space cadet, but he's a freaking pilot.
He's flown a lot of planes. I mean, over the years. I don't know how many years he did, but I heard I couldn't believe it. Wow, not too many guys can go that career.
Yeah. Well, if I'd have known he was going to be a pilot, I'd have felt more secure now on the plane.
Yeah.
Something went wrong, you'd have come up there and did something about it.
Yeah. And then you went to the Kings, and you were there with when Marcel Dion was playing. And
right.
How good was he?
He was the type of guy that was probably one of the smartest players. Mm-hmm. Like, he didn't have overly that much speed, had good hands, really good shot, but he placed himself in a situation where he could score. And when he had the opportunity to score, he did.
Yeah.
He did. And that was pretty impressive. That was pretty impressive. And I kind of felt sorry for him because he was a great player. They had Taylor and Simmer playing with them, and that line was terrific. They complemented each other so well. It was a natural to put them together, and they were so successful. But I always kind of felt bad those guys. They didn't have the chance to go and play for the Stanley Cup or win it.
No.
And all the years they put into the game, and as hard as they worked, I kind of feel sorry for them because they deserved better. They deserved to go to the Stanley Cup, at least, try for it. And I think they did one time, I think, if I'm not mistaken. Taylor did. I don't know if Simmer did or not. I don't know. I don't think Marcel was there yet. I think he retired. But they went there one year. But I think at those three guys, and if we had a better backup, team to back them up, and to let him go to the Stanley Cup and let him win it.
Goaltending would have been also
Yeah,
important.
yeah, we struck a little bit there. You know, they were hot and cold.
Yeah. And
Like
then
probably about 90% of the goalies are hot and cold, but they were a little bit colder than hot.
yeah. And then you went to Pittsburgh. You were there when Mario Lemieux was there. How was that? Did you guys ever be on the? Were you ever on the same line?
Yeah, absolutely. We were. Eddie Johnson. He was my coach in Chicago, and he made me captain there the first year. And when I became a free agent, I was going to sign another year at an option year with LA. He wanted me to go to Pittsburgh. And we talked about it. He said, "We need you in Pittsburgh. Mario is here. His English is not as good as it should be. As we want it to be. We want you to kind of groom him." So I said, "Okay." So I went there and signed a 2-year contract. Mario was my left winger when I played my very first year, the second year also. But amazing. They said, "How could you explain Mario Lemieux?" And I said, "If God put anybody on this earth to do one particular thing, it was Mario Lemieux to play hockey."
So natural, all natural.
He had a reach. Like he had the ugliest, heaviest stick ever. I had to work out just to lift his stick up. But he had the reach, and it wasn't a great shot, but it seemed like it always handcuffed the goalie to score. Just a phenomenal. And one-on-one, I'd pity the defenseman one-on-one. He put outside, and then all of a sudden, as soon as the defenseman turned, he'd bring it inside between his legs, get a breakaway, and shelf it, or make the goalie look bad to score an empty net. Amazing. Absolutely. And when he got mad, it was even better.
Really?
The defenseman would have the puck behind the net, and you hear Mario, leave it. So he'd come around and swing. And he always taught me, go to the net. Go to the net. When I get the puck, go to the net for a rebound or a deflection or wide open net, but go to the net. So as soon as he's winding up, I kind of wind up behind him, and if he didn't score, I got the rebound.
Yeah, that's the right way to. He knows, and it works.
Oh God, it was incredible. You'd have 5-6 point nights. I'd have 3 or 4, and I'm going, this is unbelievable. I love this crap. I love it.
If he wasn't hurt, I think he could have probably broke Gretzky's records.
I think so too.
Yeah.
I think so too. Mary was just a talented person.
Yeah.
The work ethic maybe not as hard as some people, but his talent was there.
And did it make the guys better in practice having a guy like that? Like how much of their skill level went up at all from having Mario in practice?
It was the confident factor, Jack. It was like Gordie Howe. It was like the same scenario. When the game was on the line, you kind of looked down the bench and, okay, Mary, either goal or assist. Let's go. We need a goal or assist right now. And he would produce just like Gordie would. Yeah. It was the knack they had. It was a time of the game where they had to perform either to win, tie, or do whatever. And you always looked at them to do the job. Look at them to do the job. And they did it the majority of the time. They did it. It was one of those. It was the comfort factor and relying, knowing that they would do the job for you. And like I said, 90% of the time they did.
Yeah.
Drop penalty.
Yeah. Is this the most skilled player you ever saw in your career?
Yeah.
Mario Lemieux?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And they said, what do you think about Gordie Howe? And I said, when you call him a superstar, I still think you're degrading him. That's the respect I had for those guys. That's pure respect. You're talking about Savard, like respect. He's a great little player. Like they always had the tradition, Marcel, Dion, and the people you're talking about. They just had it. God gave them the ability to do the things they had, and they took advantage of the God-given ability to the utmost, and they showed it on the ice and on the street. Yeah.
It's impressive to watch him. I did see him play, and he was such a great skater, too. Looked like he was good on his balance, skates.
I remember one time we were playing in Philadelphia, and, of course, that was a rivalry team. They had all the tough guys all the time. And I remember the puck kind of went to the side, and 3 guys went to him, and I went to the net, like he always told me to do. and I don't know how he did it, but I got the puck. The goalie was on the other side. I went to my knees. I was so shocked. I got on my knees. I got up, and I still had an open net to shoot it in.
Wow.
And I scratched my head. The other time, this was a miracle. We were taking the face off on, if you're looking at the goal on the right hand side, which is a right hand shot. Yeah. And he took me he took me off this, and he says, when the puck is dropped on the ice, spin off with your stick on the ice and go to the net. I said, okay. So as soon as the puck was dropped, I spun off the defense, put the stick on the ice. I was going to the net. I didn't even know where the puck was. Hit my stick and win the net.
Wow. You put it right on your blade.
I didn't even put my hands up. I just looked at him and he kind of shrugged his shoulders and skated away. I'm going, holy crap, are you kidding me? Like, I don't even know how, did you do it off the bat or did he bring it back to pass? I don't know, because I was spinning off and I'm going, oh my gosh, the guy's a freaking magician now.
Yeah. He was amazing. I mean, he was a good player.
But he didn't think anything of it. It was just kind of natural to him. And going, oh my God. Yeah. But I like when he got mad, though, because I know that I go to the net and I'm getting something happening there. All I want him to do is to touch the puck so I get an assist.
Yeah, absolutely. I want to ask you, who was your toughest? You were a centerman most of the career, a whole career. Who was your toughest opponent on the draw?
Bobby Clark was tough.
Bobby Clark.
Yeah, Bobby Clark was tough.
What about Messier?
I didn't go against him very often.
Oh, because it was Western Conference, Eastern Conference.
Yeah, I didn't go against him a whole lot, I don't think. But he was kind of classified as a friggin', at the time, kind of a winger. When he gets mad, like he goes crazy kookaloo. I didn't ever see him go mad, get mad and do it, but I heard that he had that reputation.
Yeah.
But I never saw him really get mad and do stupid things, but people tell me he did, but I never did see it for myself, so I can't comment on it, but he was a fast skater guy. He was fast with the puck.
Strong.
Yeah, really strong. Yeah.
Yeah. What kind of sticks did you use? Did you use certain sticks for the draw that gave you an advantage, or
Nope. I used pretty much Sherwoods all the way. Wooden Sherwoods. So you get wooden Sherwoods. Okay. They're extinct now.
Yeah.
When I went to Minnesota, I started using Christian, because Christian sticks that remember the Christian that played in the Olympics? Yeah. He came to and he had some sort of do with the sticks. So I liked them a lot. So I changed to Christian hockey sticks. We're a good stick, so I started using them too.
Yeah, Morris Lukowicz swears by them. He used it was favorite when he played in Winnipeg, was the Christian sticks.
Yeah. Like he was a good guy, really quiet and good Christian. I liked the kid a lot. So when he said he has some sort of ties to it, I said, oh, hell, I'll support you. I'll buy him.
I used Christian blades, and they held up really well. They didn't. They had some kind of laminate that was really strong, so they were good. And Sherwoods were good too. I used those too.
Yeah, was good. That's when you could buy a hockey stick for $50 to $25.
Yeah, a lot better.
Now that's what the tape is that much.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Crazy is right.
It's gone out of control. So, do you like the way the game is going?
I do and I don't. Mm-hmm. I'll be honest with you. I don't know if I could compete nowadays. These guys are big. They're fast. They move the puck so well. They have to do it so quick. I guess,
Do you think they're bigger than the guys in the 90s? Because I remember the guys in the 90s were all well over 200 pounds. And
it just seems to me on TV, and I go to the games quite often, they just seem to be a little bit faster. Yeah, it's maybe because they never stop. They're always moving, and maybe that's the case, but I don't know. Here's the other part. When I was in Saskatoon coaching, and Lou Benicki and we talked about this before, but they said the violence in hockey, and he said, what do you think about it? And he said, either you take it right out of the game or you put more seats in the building. Mm-hmm. I think that fans, I think they're used to what they're seeing now. There's no contact in the sport anymore. There's no, fisticuffs anymore. And I think it's just not the game. The game that I grew up with, and I think a lot of people enjoy. When I was growing up, the people that kind of fought a lot, that kind of played rough and tough, they're the most popular players in the team.
Yeah.
They're the most popular players in the team.
Al Secord, Tiger Williams.
Yeah. When I was at Winnipeg, they had a reputation of not being very physical, and one of the guys had got hurt, got slashed, and I took the trainer out there, and I said, "What happened?" He said, "That guy slashed me." And I went to him and I fought him, and lucky thing he stepped on a stick, and I kind of took advantage of it. I went to the penalty box and I got a standing ovation. I go, "What?" I said, "What is this?" Standing ovation. Standing ovation. I'm going, "This is crazy. I've never had this done before." Yeah. So I still think if you put the physical part in, a little bit more physical, and a couple altercations here and there, I think the fans would really enjoy that. Because I go to the games now, guys that almost seem like they're going to fight, everybody starts standing up.
Yeah.
See, this could happen. Oh, no, okay, and they sit back down again.
Well, I don't know. Yeah. They turn their backs now when they're going to the boards, and then the other thing is when they get checked, they fight right after a check. They don't like the body check, so they're kind of fighting for the wrong time. Exactly. So what do you think of all that? I don't watch much NHL anymore.
I don't either. I really don't either. I think they're taking the body checking away, and I think if a guy gets a good hit on a guy and if it's clean, I think that's part of hockey. You don't go challenge a guy. I know you want to stick up your teammates. That's nice and all that, but I think that it's part of the game. If I get caught with my head down, I didn't see where I'm going, a guy clocks me, that's my fault. Am I bad? Yeah, it's me. I'm bad. I don't know. I just don't enjoy watching as much as I used to. I'll be honest with you.
Me too.
I love the speed. I love how they get the puck and they're in this short situations where they had to make a good pass, and they usually do. It's fun to watch them that way, but it just takes the physical play out of it. That's why hockey was so it from other sports. You do this on the street, you get 5 years. You do this on the ice, you get 5 minutes. Yeah. What a great sport. That was a trademark that was attached to hockey. 5 minutes in the hockey rink and 5 years in the street.
Yeah. I mean, if you fight, it's a reason to fight, to get the game going, and you protect your star players. That's okay. But to go fight just because you got checked clean, it's thrown. I don't know how to say. And the other thing for speed is the red line's out. So that's the other thing we didn't have, was that we had a 2-line pass. People don't even know what that is.
Right.
Yeah.
But you know what, Jack? I don't mind it. I think it adds to a little bit more speed. When they first took it out, I go, I'm not going to like this. But once I got used to the no red line, it really speeded the game up a lot.
It did. Yes.
And I didn't mind that part. No. It's just that the physical play is off, and I don't know.
You think they should do checking at might level? That's what I think they should do, like skating in the same direction and angling with the stick down and using shoulder. But they're taking checking away. They're starting it at Bantams, and by then the kids are scared to get hit or they're getting hurt.
Yeah,
it's all wrong.
I don't know what ages they do here, but we teach them how to rub guys out and how to do the rub and take them out and how to spin off them to get back into play. We teach. I work with the stars here. We teach kids how to shoot, skate, pass, and all that kind of stuff. And at one time, we were teaching them how to take a hit and how to two hit, not head hunting, just take the guy out and put his stick and gloves against the boards and take the puck away, and then how to redo that. You spin off and try to get in front of the other guy to take the puck away. We try to do that, teach them. We haven't done it last year, but previous years we've done that. But I don't know what age they start at. I know they don't want to get hurt.
Bantam, 14 years old.
Yeah.
13 to 14 is the first year of hitting. And that's why they have their heads down, because they're not used to getting hit.
Yeah, because you're not supposed to. Yeah, exactly right.
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah. I think that they should prepare themselves. I think it's 14 years old. They should start preparing to get hit.
Yeah.
And prepare themselves and how to position themselves to take it and to give it.
Yeah. And if you were a commissioner at the NHL, what rules would you add or change?
Boy, that's a heck of a question, Jack. I think that we talked about it. I think if a person tries to stick up for his teammates when a guy on a good hit, I think that he should be somewhat suspended or fined. I tossed that around a little bit. I don't know if that should be it or not. I think they should move the team out of Phoenix. I think it's an embarrassment in a 5,000-seat facility to have an NHL team. I think that's an embarrassment. Find a place where it's a nice arena where people actually want it. Yeah. In Houston or in Quebec City.
Yeah.
I mean, they're dying for craving one. They got the facility for it.
Yeah.
I don't understand that at all. At all. I think they should keep the hitting involved. I think they should not penalize people a whole lot for doing altercations. I think that it's shunned now, and I don't think it should be shunned. I don't know. I think that there should be, if you're going to, I like what baseball does.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't mind a team, and I think for finance reasons, if I'm going to go play in Boston and then I have to go play in LA the next day, I would say play 2 games in Boston, Friday and Saturday or whatever, Monday or Tuesday, and then go away to another team or go home.
That's smart.
I would think baseball does it, and I think that's pretty smart too.
Yeah.
That they have team. You can't build rivalries if you don't have games in a month or 2 before you see the guy again.
Yes.
And I think rivalries for teams, and I think rivalries, the fans like that. Yeah. The rivalry. If you have a couple of scraps, you go, oh, geez, the guy's after this guy, and it could happen today. People get excited for it. They want to go see it. Rivalries are gone. There's just no more rivalry. And I think if they try to bring that back, I think it'd be good. And I do think maybe 1-2 games, 2 games at the same place, and then travel to the next place. If it's 1 game or 2 games, and go back home, I think it would take a lot away from the travel and the wear and tear and the players too.
Absolutely, that's a great point. Any words for NHL rookies coming into the league now? What advice do you have for them?
I would say go to you to get shooting advice, because it sure worked on Robertson. He is a stud. People in Dallas love the kid. Man, his name and pictures all over the place.
Yeah.
And that is nice to see. I think, you have to have the talent to play, and you have to have the willpower to play. Don't be in awe of the veterans. Be in awe of what you can do as an individual, scoring-wise or hitting or playing goal or whatever your scenario is or what position is, to be the best you can be, and try to be the best. Just don't be satisfied with being on the third line. Strive to be on the first line, and I think that would help them play. And right now, it's all Robertson's line that's doing anything for Dallas. And if they hold them off the scoreboard, the other team has a better chance of winning games. And if you want a championship team, that can't happen. You have to have support to help those guys out if they're not scoring out of the second, third line participating. The fourth line I would have is just bangers. Go out there and bang the heck out of these guys. Don't get scored on, but bang the heck out of these guys and let the other 2-3 lines do what they have to do to win a hockey game.
Yeah, the Robertson family is a great family. Both of the kids are awesome. I mean, I had Nicholas works hard, and so did Jason, and
well, Jason, he handles himself very well. He's not egotistical. He handles the stardom very, very well. He's appreciative of whatever's happened for him. And that's the type of kids you appreciate you want on your team.
Yes, absolutely. And it's great advice you given, and I love the stories you had to tell about it's just great stuff. Terry, it's an honor. Thank you for coming on and talking to me, and so glad to we reconnected. And
me too.
Yeah,
me too. It's been a pleasure talking hockey with you. And if you ever get bored, call me again.
I will. I need more stories.
Yeah, I got a couple of them.
Yeah. All the best. I'll talk to you soon. Thank you.
All right, buddy.
Take care.
Thank you, Jack.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Have a good day.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Thanks. Bye.